We had 6 feet of water in our home. We had an 8-foot surge on the mark on the side of our house. So a wave of some sort had hit at 8 feet high, which was at the time of this house, it was the windows on the second floor.
And what kind of damage did you have to the house?
We had structural damage. Our foundation shifted. We had water up to 6 feet in the kitchen. We had raw sewage in our kitchen on top of our granite, in our cabinetry, inside our pots in the kitchen. All the furniture was underwater, and everything was ruined.
So we're talking about a total loss.
Pretty much. And the house had been renovated 13 months before Sandy. It was a complete renovation and everything was brand new.
But you had insurance.
I had insurance.
And what happened with the insurance companies?
When the inspector finally came, which was mid-November, he walked in the door and his very first words to me were, "I'm not even going to be able to give you 50 cents on the dollar." And I looked at him and I said, "This was a brand new house." And he's like, "Well, for example, in your kitchen, I'm only going to give you the bottom cabinets." And I said, "But the cabinetry is all one piece." And he's like, "Well, you'll have to cut it in half." And I was like, "No, this is brand new kitchen." So we went piece by the house, and then he relented. He realized how much damage, and I'm not sure if the inspectors are instructed to come in with a lowball figure or a figure that they think they can get by with. We asked for a structural engineer to come 3 different times, and the insurer refused to send a structural engineer. So we had our own engineer come, and he inspected our house. He walked through the house, and he said that the house would not withstand lifting unless all of the sidewall beams and all the floor beams were replaced. So they had to take down the outside walls of the house, front, back, and sides. The house was enclosed in blue tarp for 6 months with no walls.
And did you live in the house while this was
Yes.
going on? So while you're going through all of this, what is the interaction and the conversation with the insurance companies, with FEMA?
My insurer, initially they released $40,000 to start the work. And we went piece by piece over what the insurance was going to pay, whether we should do a loan, whether we would qualify for any type of the grant programs that were out there. And we said, we think we want to borrow this, provided we won't be shut out of other things.
So you were told that you would not be excluded from other programs and other monies available.
From federal grant money, it would not affect the insurance. Our governor sat at one meeting and said, take it from your children's college funds, take it from your retirement funds, borrow it any way you can, get back in your homes. You will not be eliminated or excluded from any of the federal programs, which was an absolute lie, because we are excluded from every program. We got $100,000 of insurance money. 30 of that was for what FEMA required us to do, which they call mitigation or lifting our house. The total lift of our house cost almost $81,000.
That pretty much took the whole sum.
Without doing anything else. And I still had to build a structure to lift. I mean, we built a house. We had to rebuild the home so that it met the standards that they required we do for the insurance. I'm angry, but I'm also determined that if my policy is supposed to cover me for replacement of what I had in my house, if my policy is supposed to bring me back to the way I was, And you're going to tell me that you're not going to reimburse me for what you require me to do? I paid my flood insurance $3,000 a year for 9 years with the expectation, God forbid that something happened, that I would be compensated the proper way. And you took my money. Now it's your turn to give it back to me, and you're not going to get away with not giving it back. I will fight this until I am fairly compensated. I'm not giving in. I've worked full time for over 40 years of my life and saved and put in retirement and did all the proper things. I paid my insurance. I paid my dues all these years. And now you're going to say, oh, 40 years of paying for homeowners and flood and this and that. Oh, well, too bad. We don't have the money. No,